Hey guys, Fish Guy here. Just got another viewer request on one of the videos I made, basically the holy grail of breeding fish for a profit. It's really got me thinking. There are some fish out there you can breed for a profit, but it's really limited in the market. So here's what I'm going to actually be doing. I'm actually going to be setting up a project. I've got the angelfish breeding, of course. I've got my nice kois, my super reds, and then my mix right here. So we'll kind of see what happens with that. I've also got my red top Malawis, my cribs breeding, and I have my convicts and my Dempseys. So we'll kind of see where that goes. But I'm actually going to start up a 10-gallon tank and kind of maybe cycle some things out and see what I can breed and kind of help educate some more people on what actually sells and what doesn't. So the top 3 things that I've researched and done a lot of price looking and ranges that you actually can make a profit on is guppies, the bristlenose pleco, which I have a video on how to breed both those, and the shrimp. Now the shrimp is a little widespread as well as the guppies because there are tons and tons of different strains out there. But of course some of your shrimp that you want are your cherries, and some I believe they're ornamental. They're bright. They have blues, they have reds, they have I think they're peppermint for freshwater. They're like a nice red and white, and those sell for anywhere from $10 to $20 a piece. Especially if you can get some of the higher class shrimp. And some of the websites you can find out there actually break it down. If you breed, this quality with this quality, that you have a certain percentage for getting the next quality up. So it's definitely something to research for shrimp. But for guppies, they'll range anywhere from $1.99 to $4.99. And actually what I did in my pond this year was actually pretty successful. I started off with, I believe it was 5 or 6 platies. By the time I was actually done, I ended up with 40 platies. That was only after about a month and a half. I didn't feed them anything, I didn't do any water changes. It's all in my 600-gallon pond out back. So that was actually pretty successful. But this time what I'm going to do is set up a 10-gallon tank, and the first one is going to be guppies. I'm going to get a hopefully pure strain. So if you have any suggestions on some nice, beautiful guppies, please put it down in the comments below, and I'll be checking those out and seeing what I can order. Or even if you know somebody that does ordering online that's a specific guppy breeder, please post them down below so I can contact them and hopefully get some good deals. I'm going to set up a 10-gallon tank with a filter, probably a sponge filter, just to kind of tap off everything else. I'm also going to do some Java moss as well and make the tank nice and green, have a lot of algae growth in it. It's going to kind of be pretty much unsightly, but I'm going to do 2 males and then probably 7 or 8 females. You want that ratio nice so that way the females can kind of escape and they're not bullied by the males all the time. After 1 month, we'll see what happens because their gestation period is usually 29 to 31 days, so I should hopefully have babies within the first month. What I'm going to hopefully do after that point is power feed with live brine shrimp. Hopefully be getting some from my buddy at Finest Brine, Alan, so hopefully I'll be ordering some from him. Some baby brine shrimp, get it boosted. I'm actually going to hopefully get the 10-gallon tank and drill it. I know a lot of people don't recommend it, but I'm certainly going to try it. It's something I really need to get into and see if I can do. Pretty much I'm just going to take and drill a hole, say like right here. I'm going to put a spigot, and that way I can pretty much do an 80 to 90% water change almost immediately, and then fill it back up. And then hopefully do this every 2 to 3 days. That way I can get some awesome growth on these guys. Maybe eventually even move them to a 20-gallon. Then I'm going to contact some of my local fish stores and see what sells and what doesn't. Hopefully after the guppies, if they're successful, I'm going to take the money I earn from the guppies and go into maybe even the shrimp or the bristlenose. Probably going to go into the bristlenose because that's more of something people look into a little bit more, and they're a little bit easier to determine sexes. The shrimp are too, but the shrimp in my area are a little bit harder to get a hold of, and I know some local breeders for the bristlenose, so I can get some nice quality right there. And then hopefully from what I make from the bristlenose and the guppies, eventually go on into the shrimp. So I'll kind of do a chain reaction of breeding fish so I can start with one, make enough money to start the other one, and then start the other one. I kind of see what happens and let people know what sells and what doesn't, which strains sell, which ones don't. But pretty much, like I said, if you want to make money in this, it's not going to happen overnight. It's pretty much going to pay your expenses. I just kind of want to see if that's absolutely true, and just try some new fish and see what happens. Definitely doesn't hurt to try and breeding some new fish. Everybody wins from it. So if you want to try breeding some new fish, go for it. Let me know what you breed. The results was awesome on the last video for the comments. A lot of people posted what they bred to make money, and a lot of people agree completely with me that unfortunately you're not going to become rich unless you do operate a large-scale business, which hopefully maybe I'll do one day with the angels, but we'll see. I want to get some of the blue angels because I know they're pretty, and kind of start learning the genetics of the angelfish as well. So again, I'm going to start at 1 tank, go to 2 and 3 and see what happens. Let you guys know the information. This will be spread out over months, so just stay tuned with it. I'll keep you updated on everything, what the price for that I'm selling these guppies for, what the local fish stores will give me, and then eventually even maybe moving into online shipping, online retail sales like Aquabid, eBay, different things like that. And eventually, even another thing that I forgot is a planted tank. If you have a green thumb, which we'll see if I do or not, you can start up a planted tank, and a lot of these you can split and check them out and plant them. You can do dirty tanks, stuff like that. If you really want some great information for planted tanks, check out Dustin's Fish Tanks. Great guy, knows a lot of information about his plants, a lot of good information, has a really nice setup. Has a greenhouse in his backyard. I wish I could do that, but it's way too cold here. It wouldn't be a good thing. I know the greenhouse would keep it warm, but especially with all the animals in my backyard, God knows what would break into it. So, unfortunately, I won't be able to do that. So, I'll keep you guys updated on what's going on in the fish room and keep everybody posted on what sells and what does not. I also might have a contest coming up I can't wait for. And also, if you're going to be in Western Mass, I will be taking a trip down to, I believe it's in Chicopee, to the fish auction on February 9th. So you can see me there. I'm looking forward to mingling and meeting a bunch of fish people, especially some of you guys on YouTube. It'd be nice to put a face with the username and kind of, exchange information and see what we can do. It's nice to kind of communicate with other aquarists. So, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, subscribe to the channel, like the video, share it. Definitely doesn't hurt. Check out my website, MAFishguy.com.